Well, welcome back to Final Third Friday. I'm Rob.
And I'm Isaiah.
And today we are going live with the new GoPro.
Yes.
Well, not live.
Not live.
We're live right now.
I am alive.
We are alive.
Yeah,
After
supposedly.
Snowmageddon with our
Snowmageddon.
full 1 to 2 inches of snow today.
People were predicting so much snow. That we're recording Friday. Oh my gosh.
Was it
Friday the
23rd?
23rd.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. People were predicting so much more snow than what we got.
The
But
predictions
the thing
were
that they
everywhere
were correct on was the wind chill.
Wind chill and the wind, yeah.
Man, I tell you what, I took Kitty out this morning, which is my dog, for those of you who don't know.
And he's a little dog.
Very small.
Very small.
95 pounds.
Yeah.
He hated me taking him outside, one. Two, he came in and he was sitting by the fireplace because I had the fire on this morning. And he gets up after I put his food down. And it was so cold out, all of his paws were bleeding. And I was like,
poor
oh,
guy.
come on, bub. I'm sorry for taking you outside.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, our screen went off. Did you turn our screen off?
No, I think it just
goes
does
off?
that.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah,
I
it's
wanted
still
to look at
blinking.
you. I want to look at you there, not
That
there.
is kind of a weird little thing. We're learning a new camera, if you can't tell.
Yes.
Today, we're smoking the Las Seis Provencias from Espinosa.
Yeah, just came in today. I need to look up the details on it.
Okay.
I smoked one last night. It's really good.
Okay.
In all honesty, if this didn't come 1 week before the end of the year, this would have been in my top 5 list of best cigars of the year.
Wow.
Another AJ cigar, AJ collaboration with Espinosa, but it's super good. And I'm excited to smoke another one of these right now.
Amen.
And I will say, we should still have some by the time this airs, which this will be airing the 30th, right? Is this the New Year's Eve one? Or are we out this is the first of the year?
This is the first of the year.
Oh! Well, welcome to 2023.
Welcome to 2023.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because we're
ahead a
podcast
week.
ahead, yeah.
So by that time, we might still have some of these available. I hope so.
Either way,
because
this is not a pairing today.
No. No, so this cigar, again, was just a special release from them. We got 3 total boxes.
Wow.
That's all we got.
Which
they are
these
$20 cigars.
I thought last time they were 27.
They were. They came down a lot. But look at the box. The box is still beautiful.
Well, it doesn't look like a clock this time
but it's
around.
the last one had stained glass and all kinds of stuff on it. So
crazy.
But today we're going to do something a little different. We are just going to kind of have a little bit of fun. Each one of us picked 4 whiskeys to do a blind tasting with.
Okay, and I will tell you, this is a terrible idea to do a blind. For me, this is a brand new cigar.
I know. I know.
But
I thought about that too. We could switch it up, but you
no,
know what? It's too
we're gonna
good.
do it. We're gonna do it. You don't have to tell me twice to
And
smoke a Las Seis.
and I will say, full disclosure, he's got a much bigger selection of stuff I've not tried than my selection that he has tried. I think you've tried almost everything I have, so this is going to be, other than maybe one of them, this is probably going to be more of a guessing game on whether or not he can remember certain whiskeys.
Could be.
As opposed to, I'm probably trying some new stuff, I would assume. But I don't know, maybe not. We will find out.
I don't remember what all you've tried from my stash. On this cigar right now, what I'm getting is a dark raisiny sort of sweetness. The other thing that's happening is almost some cocoa pebbles. It's like that chocolate cereal thing.
Cocoa Puffs?
Yes. Cocoa
Or
Puffs.
Cocoa, what's the other one?
I don't know.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah. Well,
They're both a little different.
I was never allowed to have sugary cereal as a kid. There were too many kids in the house.
It's because your mother loved you.
Well, and it was like, it would get demolished in a day.
True.
Like, you bring in a box of sugary cereal, there's 4 kids. That cereal's gone.
Yeah, it's all the Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Today, I did the Colibri V.
Same.
Back to the old standard. And I'm lighting with the Colibri Stealth 3.
Same here.
Which is what we've been using for a month and a half, 2 months now.
Yeah, still going strong.
I love this lighter, man.
I do too. We're sold out of the Stealth 3 right now, but I'm going to get some more in stock.
Yeah.
Mickey Tompkins, shout out. We don't have drinks yet.
Yeah.
Bought the last one.
Shout out to Mickey, man. He is so fine.
He blows my mind.
He blows my mind. Here's the deal, Mickey. I thank you kindly. Every time you bring me sticks, you either know my palate or you just have amazing taste in cigars. So I appreciate you.
Ooh. AJ Retrohale with a little bit more earthy leatheriness in the Retrohale along with it.
Oh! I don't normally joke, but I haven't smoked a cigar since Saturday.
It's
AJ. That is AJ.
It's AJ.
And granted, I've been struggling with the cough all week long too, so.
Now, this one claims to be a 6x50 Toro.
That's 652.
No. This thing is not much bigger than their Corona Gorda. I'd say it might be a 50 box pressed down, but it definitely feels more like a 48 to me. 46, 48. Okay. But I like it. I like that. I'm glad it's not a big Toro like a 58.
Okay, real quick, the spice on this Retrohale to me does not remind me of a typical AJ spice.
That's what I was saying. It's got a little earthiness and leather. And
what I normally associate is like the AJ Fernandez spice is
black pepper bomb almost.
Well,
black and red pepper.
It reminds me more of like Frank's hot sauce. It's almost like acidic spice.
Yeah,
like it's like a super bright spice note that AJ does, but this has a lot more of those earthy tones. It's almost like a dark cocoa.
Yeah,
in there. Delicious cigar.
It is very good so far, and honestly, it just keeps getting better all the way through.
I'm looking forward to it.
So let's get into our flights here. Okay. We are also towards the end of this podcast. We're going to also announce our 5 top cigars of the year
of 2022.
Yep. Of the one, and these are all ones that we've had here. Are all yours the ones you've had here too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them wasn't, and then we got it in last week. So.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. All right. That's number one.
That's one.
All right. Let's see. There's your number one.
Okay.
And we did 1 ounce samples so that we could.
Which I'm probably gonna rock a half ounce unless this
I'm probably going to
confuses
as
me.
well, because that would be 4 ounces before we start drinking the backbone here in a minute.
Yeah.
Which again is another thing we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
Riveting radio.
So this to me off the nose smells like unpeated scotch.
Okay, this. God, my palate's way off. I can't figure things out right now. This is definitely.
Okay.
This feels like a Starlight to me.
Okay, so Rob, what I want you to do,
Okay.
on all of these is
Start with proof.
Proof
Okay.
type, which is typically like what's the primary grain. So
Okay.
bourbon, rye, could be a wheat whiskey, could be
I got you.
like malted barley, whatever.
Okay.
So proof.
And if it's finished, say
Proof?
what the finish is.
Well, I would just say finish yes or no.
Okay.
Like we'll make it pretty simple.
Okay.
Because it's hard to actually pick out finishes if something's finished well.
True.
Other thing is if you can guess distillery or state of distillation, that would be amazing. And if you got a bottle guess, throw that in too.
No, that's not. No, that's not Starlight. Oh, dear Lord. That completely changed on the second sip. Did you go cheap on me?
No.
I feel like it's bourbon.
Okay.
I feel like it's maybe bottled. Well, It feels a little hotter than that, but I think it feels hotter than that because it's the first drink of the day. Let me try it again. And you can be guessing along the way, too, if you want.
I'm just going to write them down. I'm going to let you guess.
$101 proof.
Okay. So you said bourbon, 101 proof, yes or no finish.
No.
Okay. Do you have a state of distillation guess?
Kentucky.
Okay.
I'm probably way off.
Are you ready to know?
Yeah, because I know I'm way off.
Okay. So what you're drinking is, another thing. Can you guess year? The age?
This only tastes like it's maybe a 2.5 year, maybe at the most.
Wow.
I'm telling you, first sip.
Yeah, you should take another sip.
All right, let me start over on this one. You go on yours and let me get into this because this, like I said, this is the first drink I've had of the day. I should have set my palate. All right. Because after that look, I think I'm totally misspoke.
There's a back door.
Better lock that door. I know. Okay. My God, my palate's way off. I'm getting a little kind of citrusy to it.
Okay.
Now.
Man, this smoke is not moving.
No, I don't have them turned up.
Oh, okay.
And we're replacing the filters on Monday.
Gotcha.
Hey, could you turn the fans up just slightly, please? Just a little bit to get the smoke moving.
This thing is this La Seis Provencia is dumping smoke.
So here's the question. We can do hints and questions.
Okay.
Have I had this before?
I don't think so. I think you have had other products from this distillery, but I know for a fact you wouldn't have had this.
Okay.
I will tell you it's a store pick.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to guess on this.
Okay.
So what I'm guessing is 86 proof, single malt.
Okay.
If it's finished, it's rum. So I'm saying yes to finish. I'm saying it's Scotch, and it's 10 years or less.
You ready?
Okay.
107.4 proof.
I'm way off.
Starlight Bourbon Armagnac.
Are you serious?
Yep. That's that barrel that we loved. Our palates are way off today.
Yeah, I'm a mess.
I mean, this, I will say, this reminds me, the flavor on it reminds me of Beam.
Okay.
And that's what threw me off, because that one sip reminded me of just straight up Jim Beam.
Okay.
But as I get into it,
man,
I feel like
can't believe I'm that wrong on that. This is going to be a mess today.
You did pick number one, didn't you?
Well, that's what you gave me for this.
Okay, I just want to make sure I gave you one.
Okay.
I'm going to say Beam, so Kentucky.
What's your proof?
It's not tasting hot, and it's early in the day. I'm going to stay at 100.
Okay. Age?
Not finished.
Okay. And you're guessing?
I'm getting a lot more oak now.
Okay.
Maybe 6 years? 5.5, 6 years?
Okay, so your first pour is 93.8 proof.
Not too far off, I guess.
14-year, 8-month.
Wow.
From the great state of Tennessee, George Dickel.
Seriously.
Dead serious.
Okay.
That citrusy
Not a fan.
component that comes out in that, it's almost like a chalky citrusy thing.
Yeah. I think it was just that medicinalness is what was reminding me of regular old Jim Beam. That's what was throwing me.
So that which I love that one. That's one of the
Not
only
finished though, right?
No, it is unfinished. You were
Okay.
correct there. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I was just assuming because it was tasting so mild. That was the first pour. I was assuming it was going to be a little bit proofier. I don't know.
I think that says 2. Okay, there's
Get you a little bit of water there.
Yeah, there's your number 2.
All right, here's your number 2 as well.
Gracias. Okay.
Shoot. Oh, I thought that was dark. I'm like,
No,
dang.
it's just an amber
We get some
bottle.
dark bottles now.
Yeah. Now, there's one in here that I'm not sure of
We got the little more in there.
that's non-age statement. Non-age
Okay.
stated. So that's not this bottle.
I didn't
don't
put the
think.
age on mine. I don't believe.
Well, it is kind of
But you
this
kinda know
bottle that
what
you're
my-
drinking.
All right, so
So, right off the nose on this, I'm going to say bourbon. There's hardly any rye spice hitting me. Smells thick and viscous. Man, it might be a sherry finish.
Ooh.
Oh.
We were way better with Scott.
Way better. Well, we also... My palate's messed up today.
I think mine is a little bit too. This one, almost smells like it's got a little chocolate malt in it. Man, that cigar's smoking great. I know this. I wonder. This sounded like it was going to be a lot more exciting podcast.
It really
than
did.
It really was.
Yeah, I know.
So maybe we need to figure some better things out here.
Probably can.
So I'm saying proof on this one. Maybe 90.
Okay.
I feel like it's not. I don't think it's rye,
Okay.
but it's not leaning as sweet as what a typical bourbon would be.
All right.
So maybe a wheat.
Okay. I'm ready with my guess for this.
Okay.
106 proof. 106 proof. It is a finished rye. I'm guessing Starlight, and around 5 year.
108.9 proof, so you weren't too far off
Okay.
there. It was the IBC New Riff pick.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. I thought that one might
Which that
throw you
one
a
is
little bit.
normally high. That one is higher rye.
So I don't know. Is that one finished?
I don't think so.
I didn't think it
no,
was
I
either.
don't think so. It's just got a super cool dark fruit sweetness on it.
Yeah.
That threw me off.
Which I remember that on that one too. Because I am not a New Riff fan, but I like that bottle.
Yeah, I know.
So I am going wheat.
Okay.
I'm going to stick it. I'm going to say 86.
Wow.
And what was the proof on the first one again? 90 something?
Yeah, the
Okay.
proof was 93.8.
Yeah. I'd say this is 86 proof.
Okay.
Wheat. Kentucky.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You have an age guess at
Oh.
all?
4 years.
Okay.
I have no idea.
So what you are drinking is 100 proof.
Really?
8 to 14 year MGP distillate
Really?
in the form of Remus Rapio Reserve 6.
Really?
Yeah.
God, I'm glad I didn't get that bottle.
That's the saddest thing. I threw that in there because I just need people to agree with me that that's like the biggest letdown of an allocated bottle of the year.
That does not taste like 100 proof. That tastes like 86 at
well,
best.
and it's just not. It's not viscous. I don't think it does anything special either. So.
No, man. There just wasn't enough flavor to call it a bourbon.
Yeah.
I mean, wheat has flavor. I'm not saying that. It's just a little lighter on the flavor.
I gotcha. Okay.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, coming right up. It's
Coy Hill.
It's an old label.
All right. Hopefully we'll get a little bit better as this goes.
Yeah, probably not at this rate.
So you all ready for Christmas?
I am.
I know we're talking about 2023, but
I know.
day after tomorrow is Christmas, so.
Well, as stupid as it sounds, I'm kind of ready for Christmas to be over.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Half our family can't even make it up.
A lot of, head pastor at the church got sick this week, so Christmas Eve service is on Isaiah. Which
Lovely.
Sucks.
So you're going to go out there and go, that's it.
That's it. That's all, folks.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know yet.
I will say, Rich was in here, and Rich is a part of the local deaf club. It's about a mile down the road here, and he comes in here all the time. He's a super awesome guy, and he taught me how to say Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas is Merry, makes sense, and then you go Christmas. So Merry Christmas.
Wow.
So Merry Christmas. I just thought I'd share that. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and a shout out. We have to
shout out to Rich.
Rich. We haven't shouted him out. Mm-mm. Unfortunately, he'll never hear this, which sucks. I wish he could, because I love that guy. I wish there was a way. There's got to be some kind of an app that converts podcast into text.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask him about that. Oh, there we go. Now we're kicking it up.
Yeah.
That's got some flavor to it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got any guesses yet on yours? Or are you still playing around?
I'm still playing around with it.
Mike Eversol's in the house. And I think Adam Truman's with him. Oh, this is delicious. I kind of want to fall in this bottle.
So
what are you thinking?
You jumped in proof on me on this one, I'm thinking. I'm going to guess 126 proof. I'm going to say Kentucky. I don't think it's finished. And what else am I guessing? Age range? I don't know, 5 to 8. What am I drinking?
You have a guess on a distillery?
I think it's Brown Foreman distillate. Okay. So or...
Yeah, so it's Old Forester.
Okay.
All the single ladies.
Yeah.
128.1. So you had it right
That's
on.
What I thought it was.
Hell yeah, baby. You should have called it out. That was actually a good guess.
Good.
I thought you might, because that's one of... I mean, I don't know if it's one of your favorites. It's one of my favorite Old Foresters.
I'm sitting on a third of that bottle because I just kept hitting it.
I've been babying that thing like crazy.
Which was an Elite Beverages pick. Think about Elite Beverages what you will, because they banned somebody this week from the store.
Did they really? Yeah. Do we want to say who it was?
Oh, I know him.
You can say it out loud.
He's just
no one's listening to this.
Yeah, I know. He's a bourbon influencer. And
okay, not somebody like in our area.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he goes to the Sunnyside store.
Oh.
And made a video, like a reel about how he gets allocated bottles, and they were like, no, that's all for you.
Wow.
So Crazy. Yeah.
What's up, gentlemen?
Howdy there. So
Got to get out in your 4-wheel drives and play in the snow, right? Okay, so I am thinking. I think you jumped up in proof on me too.
I did.
I'm guessing probably 124. Let's go 124.
Okay.
I'm thinking finished.
Okay. Do you have a guess on the finish?
Has it been one I've had? Okay.
I mean, you might have had.
Something similar.
Could be.
I'm thinking Starlight.
Okay. So you're guessing Indiana is the state.
Indiana. God, it reminds me of that Amaro barrel in the backbone, but it's not Amaro. It's definitely not Amberana, and it better not be because I don't like Amberana.
It's not. I thought about throwing one in there, like first one, just to mess up your palate, mess your glass. Yeah, anything Amberana finish is just way overpowering.
It's not port. It might be. It's not. I don't think it's cognac either. I'm not sure what the finish is.
Okay.
It might.
So your guess is
It
120?
might be like no, it's not a rum either. Rums are.
So you're guessing 124 finished.
Starlight or Indiana.
So Indiana. And what's the age range on it?
Age 4 years. How far off I'm at?
So what you were drinking is 120 proof, 14-year, 9-month.
So not Indiana.
Knob Creek.
Really?
Yeah. This is one of those old store picks.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a lot of not finished then.
No, it's not.
Wow,
I was just messing with you.
It's got a finish to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it tastes like it's got some kind of almost an Amaro finish on it.
Yeah, it is really beautiful.
That's actually really good. And what year was this? 14.9?
Yeah, 14-year, 9-month. So this is one of those old picks when they used to do over 10-year picks. And
I mean, honestly,
it's some of the best beam juice I've ever had.
it really is. That was really tasty, actually. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Crazy, isn't it?
This one's going to totally change your palate up.
I wonder what it is.
What is it? And I don't know the age statement on that one either.
Oh, my gosh. Is this Lefroy Galore?
You got to do your guessing, buddy.
Just smelled
it's an
it.
easy guess on some things, but it's not an easy guess on everything. Because I know you like peated scotch, and it's obviously
It is
that.
obviously peated scotch. I don't think it's Lore.
Aren't you glad I put that on the last one for you? Could have put it on the first one. Really screwed you.
I know. I do think it's lower proof, though. So, I'm going to say Isla Scotch.
Really? Wow.
Wow. Who would have guessed?
That's pretty good.
Pretty good palate.
That's an amazing palate. You went up in proof on me again.
I did. Yeah, that's how I arranged these. Isla Scotch. So, from Kentucky. I'm just kidding.
From Kentucky.
I think...
They spell Scotland with 2 T's. Scotland.
I'm actually puzzled by what this might be.
You may have never had that.
What it reminds me of...
It's a hard bottle to find, usually.
Is not an actual true Isla, but Glenlivet released a bottle called Nadura, and it was all the Glenlivet notes, but had this. I don't think this is as high proof. Yeah, they had a peated one of those. I think we're sitting around 90. Islay Scotch. I don't know. I have a hard time even thinking about guessing age range
You
on
may have
scotches.
never had. Yeah, and honestly, I don't even know if they
But
put the
Islay.
age statement on it. Yeah.
Yeah, what
So
is
it's
this?
92 proof, so you were close there.
Okay.
It's Compass Box Peat Monster.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never had
Compass
that.
Box does a lot of blending and stuff, like kind of like barrel.
Yeah.
And they create some amazing juice, and I think that stuff's great.
That's
At
fantastic.
92 proof range, it's really nice.
It's really gentle. Well,
It is.
For somebody who doesn't like peat, it wouldn't be gentle. But it's like, it's got the peatiness in there, and it's almost got like a... the reason it reminded me of the Glenlivet Nadura was it had this almost brown sugar pineapple note in it. Like, just kind of that tropical fruity thing. Which
Yeah.
I enjoy that quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it's not abrasively peated like and I say abrasively, we love it.
Oh, yeah.
But of the Ardbegs or the Lafroigs, but it's definitely still got the same peat level
Yeah.
almost. So this one, man, I'm telling you, this has got me puzzled. Have I had this one?
This is a pick. You have had other picks of this exact product,
Okay.
but you have not had this pick.
So I'm saying 135. Well, let's say 135.
Okay.
Tennessee. Not finished.
Okay.
What else am I guessing?
You don't have to guess age
Okay.
range on this because it's. So you said 135, non-finished, Tennessee.
I'm so far off. I think.
What made you think Tennessee?
I'm getting a little of that banana.
Okay, the banana is there, and
Okay.
you're on that, but it's a Kentucky distillery.
Really?
With a banana note.
Ah, so
Can-
you were trying to trick me.
Can
I
you
got
guess now what it would be?
I can't remember who has the banana note in Tennessee.
So Brown Foreman sometimes has it, but this one in particular is Barton 1792,
That's 1792.
full proof.
Damn, that's a store pick.
Yes.
That does not taste like my 1792 full
No,
proof I've got. Wow.
So this is one from Mickey Finn's in South Carolina.
okay.
And I cracked it the other night and
That's
thought, oh my
delicious.
gosh, this is the best 1792 full proof I think I've ever had.
Same here. Because
Uh,
all I get on the regular 1792 full proof is 1792 hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm not a huge fan of the regular 1792 profile. It's fine.
Yeah.
But the full proof, this actually has, I mean, that tricks me. I mean, I didn't think it was Jack. I don't
No,
think it was that much banana.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was still a Tennessee whiskey. And I thought maybe there's a sneaky one out there I hadn't heard of.
Yeah. But yeah, that's 1792 full proof. That's a store pick from Mickey Finn's. And,
Well, good deal. So basically, we crapped the bed. You didn't do too bad on the last two.
Yeah, I
You did
got,
pretty good.
I got two pretty
You
close.
got two pretty close.
So I won this matchup.
You did, which I was expecting, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. All right, let's get into this one too.
I
I
have not tried this since we picked it.
So this is a barrel pick that we just got, or we did a few weeks ago. We finally got it in. It's backbone, uncut, straight from the barrel, and it's a single barrel release, 118.2 proof. This is finished in sherry, port, and Amaro barrels.
Yeah.
5 years, 9 months,
Yep.
and it got better.
It did.
It got better.
Well, we'd also had quite a few pours by the time we got to this, so I don't fully remember it. I just remember the mouthfeel and the finish and saying, that's it.
I will say one thing, Backbone. You could do a better job on your bottles. These bottles are a pain in the ass to pour out of. They leak, or not leak, but they go down the edge.
Yeah.
So
So
this is available. It will be available for a while because I got like 130 bottles.
yeah.
So we got plenty of bottles available. Come in and try it because you're going to love it.
Oh my gosh. So here's the deal. This is a very similar finishing profile to Barrel Armida, which also
See,
has.
I
an
don't like
Amaro.
Armida.
I thought about throwing it
You know
in there
what?
for you.
I need to try it again because I only tried it really early on and didn't
Okay.
like it.
Yeah, I need to bring it by and.
But
let
it's
you
only
try
a
it.
Amaro barrel, right?
No.
No.
Hang on. I'm gonna Google real quick on this.
It's fine, whatever. But yeah, so we finally got this one in. We've got a for sale now. By pour, we can't sell bottles here.
How much is a pour of this, Rob?
A pour of this is 14. So it's right in line with the rest of our picks. I think our first pick was only 12, but it was a cheaper bottle.
Yeah.
Only because the distiller screwed up and told me how much it should have been.
Yep.
And they honored that price. The distributor did.
Okay.
Otherwise,
so
it would have been 14.
I'm wrong. It is not a similar profile to Barrel Armida.
Okay.
The only thing it shares in common with Armida is the Amaro cask. But the Amaro cask on Armida really shows through. And if you've ever had an Amaro, it's a bitter liqueur.
I'm not a fan of straight up Amaro.
I would drink Amaro straight up.
Would you?
I like Barrel Armida, and honestly, one of my favorite cocktails is the Boulevardier.
Okay.
Never pair that with the cigar. That's like an end of the night.
You mean like Starlight Cigar Batch?
Yeah.
Never pair that? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. You're ornery. Yeah. The Boulevardier is Campari, a bourbon or a rye, typically a bourbon, and bitters. It's very simple.
So basically, it's your profile on whiskey, medicinal to be medicinal.
Here's the deal. After you've had a ton of drinks, Campari is meant to be a
digestive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
just like Fernet.
Yeah, like Fernet.
Yeah.
And having that at the end of the night, it's super refreshing. It holds up all the time. I have no complaints about it. I love a Boulevardier. This has none of that Amaro thing. The thing that it picked up most from it is those dark fruit sugars.
Yeah, what I got in this was, the cool thing about this is if you know that they're sherry, port, and Amaro, you can taste all three of them. But you got to be thinking about it. But you can taste all three of them. So in a lot of sherry finishes, you'll get a little bit dry. It'll be a little bit drier. You don't get the dryness. You get the flavor of the sherry.
Yeah.
And a lot of ports, you get way too much sweet. You get the flavor, but you don't get the sweetness. And the Amaros, you get a lot of that bitterness. And you get the flavor of the Amaro, but not the bitterness. And it's like they all kind of marry together nicely, and you just get a lot of dark, dry fruits. Almost, I've said this many times now, I feel like this is like drinking a really good fruit cake if you like fruit cakes.
It really is.
It's got those dark notes.
Yeah,
and it's good.
and almost that. So, if you're making a pound cake, what you start out with is basically a meringue, and then you add the flour to it. So it is kind of like that pound cake, almost marshmallowy type sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
So what this is 5 and almost a half year.
Yeah, 9 months. 9 months, almost a year.
Okay.
It's almost 6 years.
So almost 6 year MGP. We're being upfront about that.
Started out
MGP.
4 years in a charred oak barrel.
Okay.
And then the last year and 9 months, they bounced it between sherry, port, and Amaro. Now, I don't remember exactly how long was in each one of them. I can't imagine it being in the Amaro barrel as much as the other two. But they could have been equal. Who knows?
Could have been. But, so this is a great reflection of MGP. If you're trying Nulu finishes, that's MGP too. I think this one could go head-to-head with any Nulu or even Four-Gate you'll find. And Four-Gate's been doing a lot of triple and quadruple finishes, and I think this one is... it's definitely better than the Indiana Foundation.
I agree.
Yeah.
Kelvin is special.
Yeah, Kelvin does a different thing.
Kelvin's a $200 bottle.
Yeah.
This would be normally in the stores probably a $60 to $70 bottle at the most.
It's
Probably
super
60.
thick and viscous.
It is. And shout out to the team that picked this.
Yeah.
So the three of us, Lisa, me, and Isaiah were on the pick, and then we had Scott DeShong, Chris Gordon, and Eric Jansen on the pick with us. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing about those three is they all three have really good palates.
Yeah.
I would say Eric's probably the most versed in whiskey in general.
I would say that.
Just on the amount of different whiskeys he's had. Scott's got an amazing palate of a lot of different liquors, and brandies, whiskeys, everything.
Scott's versed across the liquor board.
Yes. Yeah. And Chris is, I wouldn't say newer, but a little newer than the rest of us probably. but his palate is already kind of where we are.
His palate is very agreeable, and he can get into some high proof.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
But to me, Chris is a happy medium.
Exactly.
Like,
he's the good tie break too, because he's gonna pick okay. So disclosure here, this guy, I think maybe one of your favorite ones of the day was that Canadian 17-year rye.
Yes. If I could pick 2 barrels that day, I would have picked that 17-year Canadian rye finished in cognac barrels and this.
Which what would have happened is we would have had 200 bottles here, and we'd have sold 1 bottle of it and sat on 199 bottles, because he would be the only one drinking it. Because once you try it, I mean, it's very medicinal. Kind of I don't know which one called the I-90, but you like that.
Yeah.
You love that.
It was,
whiskey.
That whiskey was like vanilla and peppermint and super minty.
See, and I hate mint. That's why I took a sip. I'm like, nope, that's not it.
Yeah. So, and when I'm going on a pick and picking for a shop, I fully know that.
Yeah.
Like a pick like that, as much as I would love to have a bottle of that I picked, that's one of those ones where I told the crew there who works for Backbone, I said, let me know where that goes.
Yeah.
Because somebody will pick that and somebody will enjoy it. It's just not a shop pour.
No, it's not. And honestly, it probably would have been one I would have bought a bottle of just to have, because I really didn't enjoy it, but I think it would be a unique pour to give someone, like we're doing here, a test flight to do, because it would completely throw you off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with that way, like you're saying, Chris, he's got a good balance for knowing what tastes good and what will sell.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he drinks a ton of our Starlight pick. I mean, he's probably our number one person that buys the Starlight pick.
It might be.
And he's actually already had 2 or 3 pours of this already, too.
Yeah.
Scott Johnston got to try this. Shout out
to Scott Johnson.
Shout out to all the crew.
Shout out to Chris Gordon and Will Breeden.
And Scott Deshawn.
Yeah, all
Lisa, me,
and you, and me.
All right.
You got to finish it. No, I was kidding, but I guess I'll tip it back to you.
I'm ready for more. That was a great crew. Great day. I mean, we tried 14 barrels. And then after we tried the 14 barrels, we got to try all the 8th day stuff. And I will say, I really feel like 8th day is on the cusp of doing something special.
I think so.
I'll let you pour wherever you want.
I think the rye was good. I would have liked to have had it before I had their absinthe.
Yeah. I will say their absinthe was really good. I do a Sazerac here with absinthe, and the only thing I didn't like about the absinthe was it was more of a traditional absinthe. It had more of the kind of vegetal note you get in some absinthes, which is what a lot of people want. But
for a sipper absinthe.
For a sipper, not one to go in a cocktail, because it would overwhelm the cocktail.
So our absinthe we run in-house for the Sazerac is
Spirits of
French Lick, Absinthe Le Bleu. And that was the first absinthe I had ever bought.
I love that absinthe.
I showed it to Rob after he was like, man, I can't get any more of this. I think it was Wiggle.
Out of Pittsburgh, which is still probably my favorite absinthe of all time.
Well,
but I love black licorice jelly beans from Brock's.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's more of the sweet side.
Which, when you're using it in a cocktail scenario, you can have a really pungent and powerful absinthe. Like something that is super black licorice, super wormwood heavy.
Yep.
And it mellows out in the cocktail, because in our normal one, you're mixing it with High West double rye.
Yeah.
You're basically getting a misting of absinthe. So you want it to show up and be pungent without overpowering, and just like a complimentary note, like you would like throwing pepper in your mashed potatoes.
Right. I mean, what we do is we rinse the glass. So you line the glass up with all the oils, get the oils all over the glass, build your cocktail on top of it, which is basically a New Orleans style old-fashioned. You use some Peychaud bitters instead of just aromatic. And then we do a little spritz on top, and what that does is that first sip, you get that little bit of absinthe, and then as it kind of mellows together, all the
yeah.
flavors just blend really nicely together. So
It's
if you like that kind of a feel, I mean, stop in here and try it.
I
I'd
think
love to hear
even
your
if
thoughts.
you're unsure of like black licorice, a Sazerac could be good for you.
It could. It's definitely.
It's not
It's not like
heavy.
drinking black licorice.
Well, it reminds me a lot more of fennel in the Sazerac, like where it is that sort of black licoricey note. But you ever go to an Indian place and get the?
Go ahead.
Is that cigar rings?
No, I'm just saying. Shout out to Espinosa for finally getting some bands that actually come off
Yeah,
easy.
that's crazy, especially on a Las Seis.
And look at this. I
Thank
want to show you this
you.
one too.
Oh, it's double-banded.
It's double banded. And watch this. Watch this. Oh, comes right
wow.
off too.
That's amazing.
And we joke, but most of the Espinosa bands are a pain in the ass to
They
take
just
off.
rip before
But-
they come off.
But you know what? It didn't matter. The cigars are good, so that's all that matters.
But
But yeah, so
this, I need to get into some tasting notes on this cigar.
let's do it.
It is stellar. It's bready. It almost. I'm still kind of getting that Cocoa Puff cereal thing
Yeah.
on there, like
Yep.
super chocolatey. I think
Still
it,
get some pepper in the nose.
I think it gets into the range of like an instant coffee, with how much cocoa's there.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit.
Man, seriously, if you paired this with the Mexican hot chocolate stout, the
I
Lithrinax,
think that'd be good.
great pairing.
So
An
that'd be
even
it.
better pairing, not that we can serve this at the shop, we don't have them, would be the Pax Verum s'mores. I think that super heavy
That would
cinnamon
be
graham
good.
cracker note in that would go stellar.
So, also another one you might be able to still find some because I've seen people find them on the shelves lately. It's not being made anymore, but the CBS from Founders would be great with this.
Well, and I haven't,
KBS might be fine.
I haven't tried this year's run of the Yingling Hershey's Porter, but
I've never
that-
tried it because I just refuse to get into the Yingling thing.
okay. I drank a lot of Yingling in college, so I don't drink it much anymore.
Well, it's those of you that know Yingling know that if you're out east, you're like, what's Yingling? It's not that special. But out here, no one can get it, so everyone thought it's the most amazing thing in the world. And it's like,
You
it's
can buy it all
beer.
the time at
It's beer
Meijer.
now. Yeah.
But this cigar, absolutely stellar. Retro Hills died down a little bit for me.
I will say I was a little irritated the fact that we ordered this in July and just got it. But
That's how
what,
Espinosa's been running.
But you know what I like about it?
What's that?
It's ready to smoke now.
Yeah.
We don't have to wait for another month for it to smoke. This thing is smoking absolutely amazing 2 days after I got it.
Bet you can't say that about the Lizona 10s.
We won't go there.
It's been 3 weeks.
No, it's been over a month.
Over a month with the Lizona 10s.
I think
I think they're either underpacked or they were just so wet that they're still soggy.
I talked to a buddy of mine that actually works at another shop, and
Corey?
I wasn't going to call names out, but
Okay.
yes. It wasn't his jam either. And I think they got some of the similar issues with theirs. Now, other people have gotten some, and they were fine. I really feel like the 2 boxes we got were underpacked. Because, I mean, you can still go back there and you can squeeze them
And-
halfway down, and they just bounce
Our
back.
humidor's running at 67?
Yeah,
69?
I mean, right now with it getting ridiculously cold, we're sitting at about 65. 64, 65, which is perfect.
65.
Yeah,
And,
which I could kick it up, but I just don't want to have the cigars pop on me.
yeah. So, there is no excuse after sitting in there for a month for them to be
Still
spongy.
like this. No.
Um,
No, and I did talk to our rep, Tyler. I told him, I'm like, I'll get you a count of what is not sellable. And hopefully they do it right, and they
I'm
replace
sure they
them.
will. Espinosa's good.
I will
for
say
it.
one thing. They won't be able to replace them with the 10s because they're all sold out. There were only 2 boxes available for everybody.
Lizona 10s?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Just get us the Espinosa 10s.
which we'll be talking about that later
Oh, okay.
because I do love that Espinosa 10.
Well, do you want to get into that?
So, we're going to talk a little bit about our top 5 cigars. I've got a couple of
honorable mentions
too. But we'll talk about our top 5.
I would say Rob, like 2 through 5. Don't give a don't rank those, but your number 1.
Oh, I can't do that. I was just going to do all 5.
I'm sure you can do a number 1 out of that, Rob.
Yeah, I probably
I'm looking
can.
at Rob's box, and he has some of my honorable mentions in there.
I probably can because I smoked one the other day and absolutely fell in love with it again.
Okay.
So
here is the first one for me. This is top 5.
These are top 5 cigars that we released here at Final Third. Not, we haven't tried. And I will tell you one thing. There's no fucking Cubans on this one. I'm so irritated with the fact that Cigar Aficionado throws out the number 1 cigar of the year is a Cuban again.
Yeah.
It's literally like 2 to 3% of the world that ever gets that and smokes it. And honestly, I'm not a big Rocky fan on the cigars.
Yeah.
Own issues, whatever. But he got number 2, in my opinion. He got number 1 in America.
Totally.
And America sells 90% of the cigars, 95% of the cigars around the world.
Yeah.
So honestly, congratulations, Rocky. You finally won, in my opinion, cigar of the year.
Okay, so we're gonna get into these. There's a couple. Well, Rob and I both have one overlap cigar. So
I took one out that I knew we would overlap anyway.
We still have one overlap.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and get that one out of the way.
Let's start.
This is in my top 5. It's not my number 1, but it's stellar, and that's the Ochsner Family Cigars Pie Synesthesia.
Yep.
The thing that blows my mind about this is it's a solid medium body that can go with a cup of coffee.
See, I think this is more of a mild to medium at the most.
It's mild to medium until you retrohale.
Yeah, but I still feel like the strength level of it is okay. So body is a medium. I'll give you that.
I got you.
Strength, I give it a mild.
Okay.
So
I never gauge nicotine strength.
I have a hard time doing it too, but agree. This thing is delicious. It's nutty. It's creamy. If you like Connecticut's, all this is going to do is amplify all the flavors you like in Connecticut's and then some.
If you like the Desert Rose by Southern Draw, you need to give this a shot.
Yeah,
because it's like, well, honestly,
it's better.
It is way better.
It's way better.
I love the Mil Diaz, and this sits in the same sort of category for me as the Mil Diaz, with those same nutty, the same sort of baking spice notes, but on the retrohale, it's a little bit spicier.
And I will say, this is kind of a cool thing that we heard from Jake a little bit too. So the Pie Synesthesia line is going to be built over all the colors in that painting his dad did.
Yeah.
Osgener's dad, Tim's dad. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, what's going to happen is once they get past all the colors that they're in that, because this one tastes like the color yellow.
I don't know what that means.
But as they go through all the colors, I think what they're going to do is release a sample pack of all the colors. And then I bet you anything what they're going to do is then bring them back as regular releases. And if that's the case, you'll be able to get them more. Right now, you're going to have to get them from shops that went to PCA, that were able to buy through PCA. We were luckily able to get a few boxes here. So if you're able to come in here and get this cigar, if you like a mild to medium cigar, medium strength, or medium flavor, mild strength, I think you're going to love it. It goes great with coffee. It goes great with bourbon. It goes great with cocktails.
Absolutely.
It works with everything.
That was one of the things that shocked me about the cigar. When I first had it, I brought a couple back from Nashville. And by a couple, I mean like probably 6.
You gave me one. That was nice.
I gave
of
you one.
You're the man.
And that's what got you. But really, it was a stellar cigar.
Oh,
when I brought
agree.
it back, and I was sitting at home working, and I had smoked a Sfumato in C Major, also a Crown Heads PCA release.
Also a great cigar.
And then I went to the Pice Anastasia, and that one, this cigar quite literally made me stop and think about what I was tasting.
Yeah.
I don't think they have anything else in their line that tastes like this.
No.
And
honestly, I can't think of any cigars across the board that taste like this.
I can't either.
This is one of the best
It's a
new
very
blends.
unique experience.
I agree.
It's not Mexican San Andreas over Nicaraguan.
And we'll get into that a little later too.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about some predictions going forward too.
Which we talked a little bit about last time.
Oh, that's right, we did.
Yeah.
I forgot it was on recording and not just us talking.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right.
Rob,
So
what's another one for you? What's your
another one for me? Let's go the Aladino Classic. And I love this little Corona.
Which I was I
This was
gonna
on your,
put this one on.
I know, and you saw I had it and you picked the other one.
Yeah.
Which honestly, he has one Aladino, I have one Aladino. This is their newest release this year, the newest core line release. It's a medium strength cigar. Honestly, smoking it, it's probably more of a mild to medium.
Yeah.
Until you
retrohale.
retrohale, and then it becomes more of a medium.
Yeah.
And if you know Aladino typically uses Corojo for the binder and the filler.
Yeah.
This one has Habano binder or Habano wrapper, Habano filler, and then the Corojo binder on it.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about what that does is it totally changes the profile of an Aladino, but you still know it's Aladino because you still have the Corojo binder.
The thing that shocks me about that cigar is how widely accepted it is across multiple different types of cigar palettes.
Exactly. And I find that in a lot of medium cigars because I know this is 2023, we're releasing this, but around the Christmas season, we have a lot of people coming in saying, I want to buy some cigars for my dad. I don't know what he smokes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, so what I always tend to stick to is that medium range because someone that smokes mild cigars, it's not going to be too strong.
Yeah.
Someone that smokes full-bodied cigars are still going to get good flavor out of it. It kind of balances out the whole palate.
Yeah.
And this is one of those.
When we first got the Aladino Classic in, I think it was July or a little bit before.
Somewhere around there.
Rob and I had smoked it together, and then I brought 5 of them on vacation with me and my family. And
your dad smoked them all.
I
Didn't he?
gave one to my dad and said, "Hey, check this out. This is a new one."
That's his favorite now, isn't it? Still,
He's between that and the Corojo Reserva, which honestly
or two different animals.
And 2 different moods.
Which you might as well go ahead and lead into that and go with your.
I might as well. But he smoked all 5 of those Aladino Classics, and he told me again
Shout
and
out to
again.
Bob.
Shout out to Bob. He doesn't
Bob's
watch
the
this.
man.
Bob is the man.
And I am going to say, I'm going to do another shout out. I'm going to shout out to your mom, Sharon.
Okay.
She did a charcuterie bar, not a board.
Yeah, I know.
She put our entire bar and created a charcuterie. And I'm like, this woman must do this as a profession because that was the most beautiful board. If you go on our Instagram and check it out, it was the most beautiful charcuterie I've ever seen. And
Yeah.
you told me that was her second one she's ever done.
Yeah, I know.
That woman needs to actually sell this and create a business because it was absolutely amazing.
I told her that.
Oh my God.
Okay, my next one.
Mm-hmm.
The Aladino Corojo Reserva number 4.
Oh, delicious little firecracker.
I love the Corojo Reserva. That's like a box cigar for me.
It's the strongest cigar that they put out.
I think so.
It
It
is.
is full strength.
Yep.
But it is all of the baking spice notes that you would ever want, which definitely hits my palate well.
And with the Corojo Reserva, what you're getting in this is all high priming Corojo.
Yeah.
So they have the original Corojo, which is going to be your traditional Corojo flavors, kind of what Cubans used to be. This one is all the high primings, thus the darkness of it and the deliciousness of it.
And a 5-inch cigar by 44 ring gauge.
Beautiful.
So you're
beautiful.
I don't know. The only way they can make it better if they release the Lancero.
Oh, I can't wait.
You can't.
We're working on it.
Okay.
I'd love to see that happen. Now,
I'm
I
not
will
sure
say
they-
one thing. We have several boxes left of
Yeah.
this. The sad rumor is this may not happen next year.
I don't think it's a sad rumor because that's what Justo told me.
I know. And when Justo says it, it's pretty much gold.
It's pretty much set in stone.
So this
Serious?
probably isn't coming back. Get in here and get some of these. I mean, honestly, the boxes on those are not bad
No,
price
and this
either.
is a long burning Corona.
It
You're probably
is.
talking an hour 20, hour
Easy.
30 out of it.
I know I've gotten at least an hour and 30, hour and 45 minutes out of that little bitty Corona.
Yeah.
The
This
high
is,
priming just burns so slow.
Now, granted, this is not a this year release. This is a yearly release of a size.
But that's this year's
Yes.
version of it.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
All right, so let's go to my next one here.
Yeah.
So I've done the pie and I've done the Aladino.
We've also done, yeah.
So I'm going to go next to the La Galera. This is the Enamoy Euros size. This, I'm telling you what, we both fell in love with La Galera this year.
Yeah.
I will say all
I didn't
their
even know
cigars
they
are great.
existed until Brad came in here.
And just, well, shout out.
Shout out to Brad, man.
I don't think he listens, but I'll have to. I'll have to.
We
send
need
him
to
a
get
text
Brad
and
on
listen.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we do. We do. He is one of those cool guys. When you meet him, you're like, oh, this is going to be kind of a funny guy. No, the dude's got so much knowledge, so much.
Yeah.
And his portfolio is amazing. But this thing
And just
has become an amazing seller here. And
Yeah.
every time I smoke it, I'm like, damn, why didn't I smoke more of these?
Yeah.
Really great cigar. And I've got another one of their brand coming up on a
Honorable mentions?
that word. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I
Okay.
just shot that whiskey and I'm like feeling it now.
Yeah, I understand.
Hell, baby. It's 1 o'clock and we're buzzing. That's
Sorry,
great.
Lisa.
Sorry, Lisa.
So my next cigar is a box buyer. All of these are box buyers for me. But this is the Crown Heads Kappa Special, the 4 Kicks Kappa Special. This is the Kappa, the 4 Kicks, the blue band in a Lancero. And this was probably the quickest box buy for me.
Yeah.
Serious. I smoked 1, maybe 2. And
I
then
don't know. That Marinitos was pretty close to the same.
I smoked a lot before I
Yeah,
grabbed the box.
yeah.
Actually 2, but we'll get to that.
I know.
The 4 Kicks Kappa Special is a stellar cigar. It's a stellar Maduro. Got a ton of spice on the retrohale. And does kind of all the chocolate and coffee notes and all that you would expect from something
Yeah.
of its construction.
And I will say, if you've ever had the 4 Kicks, I feel like the regular releases have been just okay.
Yeah.
I would smoke them. It's not like I wouldn't smoke them, but
This is special.
that Lancero is absolutely amazing. The spice level kicks up. The construction on it is really good. And that's the thing. If you get a well-constructed Lancero, the flavors are going to just be insane. This is one of those.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
we still have some of those. We still have quite a few of those
Yeah.
actually available. So
You
if
think
wanna
we
come by and
will
try
by
it
the
out,
time this airs?
I think so.
Okay.
They're not
Yeah.
selling quick. I will say we are converting a lot of people to Lanceros here.
Yeah.
We're not getting Lancero box buyers yet, so people are buying one and smoking it or taking one home.
Yeah.
So I think we should have some left. So hopefully we will.
Totally.
Cool.
All right, what's your next one, Rob?
Next one, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Espinosa. And this is the 10-year anniversary for Espinosa. This thing's absolutely delicious. It has a lot of the similar notes of the knuckle sandwich Habano.
Yeah.
But it mellows out some of the super spice you get out of the retrohale. This thing smokes perfectly every time. I just really love this cigar. It's definitely one of my top 5. I wouldn't say it's my top cigar of the year, but it's in the running. It's in the running.
Absolutely. I think that Espinosa 10 is
Delicious.
it is delicious. Well, and there's a couple Espinosa cigars that will end up on my honorable mentions.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. A lot of their new releases they had this year since PCA have been delicious and really good.
Yeah.
I just wish they all came out at PCA when they're supposed to.
Okay.
That's my jam.
My next one, since we're on Espinosa, the Knuckle Sandwich Habano, specifically in this test blend size.
So freaking
I'd
good.
say this was a box buy, but I bought a bundle.
Yeah.
And
we only got 5 bundles in.
yeah, dude.
And that's all. And they're never going to be made again. This was literally the test blends that they gave to Guy Fieri and his wife to smoke to make sure that they liked the blend. And once they were
Absolutely.
gone,
They're gone. Don't say it.
I think I heard, I'm not 100% sure of this, but I'm thinking I heard that they might bring it back because it was so popular.
Okay.
That may not happen. Honestly, that is I would call that a petite Corona.
Yeah.
If they came out with a Corona in this one, it would be the same, just longer smoke.
I think so. It really is the best short smoke that I've found this year.
And
Even by short smoke, I mean like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I've gotten at least 45 minutes out of that little bitty
Yeah.
cigar multiple times.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy.
And there is a little rumor saying that I've got a bundle sitting back that will be released at the 1-year anniversary. Supposedly. Allegedly. Yes.
And now when we say there's a rumor that there's a bundle sitting back to be sold as singles.
And the rumor is it's actually accurate. It's sitting back in the top
is sitting
of the back there. So.
It will not. It'll be sold as singles. So
and that's one thing I will tell you right now. So at the 1-year anniversary, I am going to release a few of the things that sold out quickly here, just for people to be able to go back and experience those cigars again. At that point, once they're gone, they're probably gone.
Yeah.
But we're going to release some fun stuff during that week of the whatever it is, March 1st, whatever we're going to be doing. So
and that's not stuff for you to come in and hoard. This will
we
probably be treated like allocated bourbon.
It will
where
be.
It's
We
one
will-
or two per.
Yeah, we will not be
Call it
doing
a day.
box buys. It'll be more of you can buy maybe a couple of them or whatever because
Yeah.
I want everyone to get a chance to try these cigars
Absolutely.
again. All right, so you want to do your cigar of the year?
I just did the knuckle sandwich, so you got to do your cigar of the year.
All right, so this is really hard because I really like a lot of these cigars, but I smoked one of these the other day and absolutely fell in love with it again. And this is the 1502 10-year anniversary cigar, and this thing is amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best things they've ever put out. It's not as black pepper forward as the Black Gold. It's not mild like the XO, but it leans towards flavors of their entire line.
Yeah.
Their entire line has so many different transitions between the ruby, the blue sapphire, the black gold, the Nicaraguan, and the XO. This one kind of balances them all out, but it's still a medium to full cigar. And this thing is so freaking delicious.
So good.
And I've been smoking more of these lately just because I fell back in love with it again.
And that's not an honorable mention. Well, that is an honorable mention for me.
Yeah.
It's not one that I have in my top 5 because I kind of figured Rob would have it in his.
Yeah.
That is a cigar that absolutely shocked me. In fact, the first time I ever smoked that, I smoked it while drinking the All the Single Ladies Old Forester Barrel Proof pick, and it rocked my world.
Yeah.
That's
a great
stellar
pairing.
cigar.
Yeah.
Okay, my number one, my cigar of the year. This will be of no surprise to anybody if you've talked to me. The Crown Heads Mil Diaz Maranitos Limited Edition.
Yeah.
I just think that this is, I don't know. It was in Rob's top 5 until he gave it to me.
Yeah, it was in my top 5 until I knew you'd have it, so I went in and put it in my. It's honorable mention for me.
And I will tell you, this is a box buy for me, but I bought 2 boxes of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
in all honesty, I've got a box. I think I might have a box back for me too.
yeah,
I don't remember. Maybe not.
This is an absolutely stellar cigar. I have no complaints about it. Whatever I've had to eat, whatever I've drank, it hangs with them.
Well, and if you remember our, it was one of our earlier podcasts.
Yeah, it was
we
like
did
one of the
this
first
with cream
3,
soda,
probably.
and it was literally like eating coconut cream pie.
Yeah.
It was so freaking amazing.
So
it was.
good.
It's still probably one of my top 2 or 3 pairings we ever did.
Yeah.
It was so good together, and it wasn't a liquor pairing. It was cream soda.
Yeah.
And so I agree with you there.
And
It's definitely
rumor
good.
has been that it might become a regular release item for them.
Well, let's start that rumor now, and hopefully it
Let's
becomes
start
to
that
fruition.
rumor now. Go
It's
ahead.
going to be a regular release.
If it's a regular
If you
release,
throw it out there, it might come to be.
if it's going to be a regular release, I'm going to be in heaven.
Oh, my God.
I have already killed a box of these.
Yeah.
And I have a box sitting unopened that will be that these will end up being my special occasion cigars. And
they're not a terrible. I mean, they're not a high price point for being a celebratory stick.
no, but it's at the point with them where I love them that much that I would take them over the Plasencia Alma del Fuego or the Las Seis Provencia, the last release that we had of them. I just think that it nails everything that I want in a cigar. And again, I'm a Mil Diaz lover. You talk about a Mil Diaz, turn that knob all the way up to 12.
Yes.
And that's the Marinitos.
Yeah.
It nails all of those baking spice notes that you love in the Mil Diaz. It's
And
got a
then
little bit more spice in the Retro Hail. I have no complaints.
Yeah, I agree. So as we're talking about this, so where are you at on this too? So this is that Las Seis Provencia CMW. This is the brand new one that just came out. What are you thinking about this cigar right now?
The cigar is getting closer to black pepper on my palate.
Okay.
Still has some of that almost rye bread notes on there. The Retro Hail is lighter than when I first Retro Hailed off the light. It's more of a black pepper than a red pepper. It doesn't remind me that much. Like, here's my deal with AJ made cigars. I thought up until this point that all AJ cigars tasted the same. This is not true for this.
Well, and I will say, so
it has AJ spice on it.
It's at the AJ factory. Now, Espinosa still tells them what they want to blend it with. So, yeah, you may be getting some of the AJ spice, but you're going to get the Espinosa flavor notes.
Yeah.
And this one, to me, and I will say right now, if this would have been released in July, this would have been my top. This might have been my top. Because this is only my second one I smoked, and I absolutely love this cigar.
This cigar's stellar.
It is so good, and it's a freaking smokestack.
Yeah.
I mean, I've let this thing sit down there for a few minutes and come back to it, and it's just smokestack still. So, and I do like that. I like that viscosity of the smoke when you're smoking it. It's just like really thick and rich
Super
and
thick.
creamy.
Yeah.
So, but I love this cigar. I really do.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, we got 3 boxes. They're a little over $20, $20.99, I think they are.
Yeah.
But it's $7 cheaper than the last one.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad. I mean, it's still a beautiful display, but it's not as elaborate as the last ones, which I'm glad about. They don't have coffins for each cigar.
Yeah.
They've been able to decrease the cost of the packaging to bring the cost of the cigars down, which I'm very happy with.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into some of our honorable mentions.
Okay. Honorable mention for me, number 1 would be that 1502 10th anniversary, which I had already said.
Yep, I agree.
Super stellar cigar. I have no complaints about it.
Well, and I already said the Marinitos is one of my limited editions. I won't say that again. The La Galera, You're the Ox.
Okay.
Another great cigar. Now, I will say you got to commit some time to it. It's a big cigar.
Yeah.
But the flavor on that thing is really good. It's a one-off. This is, I mean, once they're done, they're done.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of them in here. So if you want a good, for a regular smoker, you're probably talking 2.5 hours. It's 3.5 for me.
Well, yeah, I get 3 out of it. It is a $20 smoke, but you get your money's worth in length.
Heck yeah, you're getting at least 2, if not 3 cigars smoking experience.
Absolutely.
And the transitions are really nice in that
Yeah.
one. So,
My next honorable mention would be the Casa Cuevas Mandaria.
another great smoke.
It's
and
a
honestly,
solid medium body, and
I should have put that on mine because that's another great
that
one.
that's the best cigar in the Casa Cuevas line. It
I
is
agree.
a limited edition, but they don't move that fast around here.
We got a few left.
Yeah,
We got at least 2 or 3 boxes.
okay.
left.
Hopefully, by the time you're watching this video, we still have some, and you can come and at least try it.
Yeah, we will. We will.
That was one of my favorite pairings. Was the Chattanooga 111 and the
And
Casa
that.
Cuevas La Mandaria.
It was good. And we'll have to, when we get done with this, we'll talk about some of our favorite whiskeys of the year too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another one for me was the Knuckle Sandwich Chef Special.
Oh, that was going to be one of mine as well.
Yeah, because I mean it's like the Habano with that hybrid Habano wrapper on it, and so the Habano is more of a medium strength cigar. Now the Retro Hell on it's freaking spicy as hell.
Yeah.
The Knuckle Sandwich is more of a medium to full strength with a similar kind of nose on it with the Retro Hell. Not quite as strong as the Maduro, but still sitting in that same profile. A really good one. It was a Figurado.
Yeah.
Man, my tongue's starting to feel it now.
Get
Woo, hello.
Hello. Last
We
time
might-
Rob and Isaiah do blinds.
We may have to do a little nap after this one.
It's okay.
But no, that's another
it
good
can
one.
work.
Honestly, the entire Knuckle Sandwich line has been amazing this year.
Okay.
I love them all. I smoke them all the time. I will say another one too. I don't know if you know this or not. I just ordered, which I could only order 3 boxes of each size, a couple different sizes of their new Knuckle Sandwich Connecticut.
I saw that.
So that one's coming up too. So if you're looking for, so I'll come back a little bit.
Okay.
Guy Fieri, he is not one of those celebrities that's like, I just want to throw my name on something
Yeah.
and make some money. He is actually very involved with the blending process, the flavor process, and all that stuff. I mean, when you throw Made in Flavor Town on the back of the box, it better taste good.
Yeah.
He's got a Connecticut
Serious.
coming out, and I cannot wait to try it because I like a more full-bodied Connecticut. So we'll wait and see what that looks like, but that one's coming out soon too.
Okay. Speaking of Knuckle Sandwich, that Knuckle Sandwich Maduro is on my honorable mentions list.
Yeah.
If you didn't tell me it was a dark Sumatra wrapper on that, I would have never picked it out.
No.
And like I can very confidently pick out like Honduran, Cameroon, Connecticut, Habano, all those things. I would have never told you that was a Sumatra.
Well, and you
That
know,
thing, like, it legitimately rocked my world. That is one of. Again, I've been dogging on them the last 2 episodes, but like Mexican San Andreas on Nicaraguan.
yeah,
It is a very similar profile to that, except it's just got its own thing.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. And I'm thinking back of many different brands. The traditional Sumatras, the lighter color Sumatras, I'm not a huge fan of. And honestly, it's just my profile. I'm not a big fan of the flavor. Those dark Sumatras that Espinosa's putting out, the Azulejo
Oh yeah,
and the Knuckle Sandwich are absolutely delicious.
It's
and
crazy.
It's really changed my mind on what Sumatras can be. So I've really enjoyed that. So getting to something else I wanted to share, our number 1 cigar sales of the year, line wise, at damn it, I screwed it up. at Final Third is the Aladino Cameroon.
yeah.
We have sold more Aladino Cameroons across, and we have 6 sizes than
We do.
any other cigar in our humidor.
Yep.
It's a mild to medium smoke, so it's good for anybody that wants flavor in a cigar and may not want the strength, or even for someone that likes a full-bodied cigar that wants flavor, they'll still get a good smoke out of that one. That one is our number 1 cigar sales-wise of the year here.
Absolutely. You have any more honorable mentions?
I'm sure I do, but I didn't write them down. Let's hear yours.
I think my last honorable mention, and this is not a cigar that came out this year. This was just a cigar that sat in our humidor long enough to, and it didn't sell well, so we're probably not going to bring it back. But the last of that box of Crown Heads Jericho Hill, and I'm not saying they came out preemptively. I'm just saying maybe it was placement in the humidor. Maybe it was Rob and I didn't sell them well.
Honestly, I think a lot of it is the band.
Yeah.
Because the band looks very unassuming.
It is very unassuming. The last of that box, after they had sat around for 6-8 months, oh my gosh.
So good.
So good.
Same with the Juarez, in all honesty.
I love the Juarez.
We have the Juarez still here, and the Juarez is one of those cigars people look at and go, it looks kind of generic.
Okay.
Freaking
so I'm going to tell you
delicious.
right now, that's my budget cigar.
Oh, 100%.
What's your budget cigar, Rob?
My budget cigar?
Like, you're mowing the grass, not that you do that. You're mowing the
anymore.
grass, you're smoking a cigar. What's that cigar?
Oh, my God. That's tough
Yeah.
because I don't mow my grass.
I know. You're going to a campfire. Your friend supposedly smokes cigars.
See, my problem is I take good cigars
I know
whenever
that.
I go anywhere.
I know that.
Um,
Let's say you don't own a shop.
I
Rob.
will say, and it's not a budget cigar by. So, I call budget cigars low cost,
Yeah.
and we sell a absolute metric shit ton of Tatiscan cigars in bundles. They're $4 to $5 cigars, and they're made with all the Aladino tobacco.
Yep.
They're great cigars. But for me, I would probably, if I'm just not wanting to think about it and have a great cigar experience at a good cost, those Cameroons from Aladino are
Absolutely.
great. I mean, you're still getting them for, $9. I think a couple of them are even lower than that.
Absolutely.
And that's a great cigar. For me, though, I mean, I always go back.
You're taking Aladino Cameroons?
Maybe, but also, since I have to shout out my Colorado Avalanche for winning the
Okay.
Stanley Cup last year.
Yeah.
2022.
You
Thank
smoked a lot
Thank
of
you.
the 601
601 Reds, man. I
Yeah.
smoke a shit ton of those.
Yeah.
And I love that cigar. I mean, I smoke it every game. And honestly, it's red because of the Avalanche. But
Yeah.
it's also a great cigar. I love that cigar, and the price point's good. I don't know what my budget would be because I really don't think that way anymore.
Yeah. My last honorable mention for this year, and this is a cigar that shocked me because I don't normally smoke this ring gauge, would be the Warhead 8.
Yeah.
I think that's a stellar 6x60. Will you find me smoking it as much as the Warhead 7? I don't think so. Just because of the time it takes and the time you have to dedicate to it. But oh my goodness,
But
it's a good
box
cigar.
press, so it feels
Yeah.
more like a 56, 58 at the most. Flavor on it's great. All the Warheads are great.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what comes out next year. Hoping for like a Corona Gorda or something like that.
I'd love the Lancero to come out again.
Yeah, that was one of the earlier ones they did. And
know.
I still have one that's got probably 8 years of age on it now.
I know.
And
I know.
I'm not going to share that with you.
I figured as much. But yeah, I think that does it for honorable mentions.
So, okay. So here's another question for
Okay.
you. What is your all-time favorite cigar you've ever if you had money was no object, you had one cigar you were allowed to smoke for the rest of your life, what would it be? Do you have one?
I think so. It honestly might be that Crown Heads Marinitos Mil Diaz.
Okay.
I have smoked it like when I had my birthday I got taken out to a nice steak dinner by a very generous couple. They bought me Wagyu, all of like the fancy seafood entrees. And
Yeah, but it wasn't as good as the dry aged cigar or dry aged steak we had.
I'm talking about dry aged Wagyu.
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
yeah, I know.
Damn.
They were very kind to me,
Nice.
and they said, literally, Isaiah, get whatever you would like. We're taking you out, and that was a cigar. I came home. I gave myself a hefty pour of Little Book Chapter 5.
Nice.
Which was one of my favorite whiskeys to come out.
Yeah.
And there's something about that cigar that does everything I want it to for me.
Well, and if you know Isaiah, you also know the regular Mil Diaz is his everyday. I'll smoke that any time of day.
Yeah.
I love that cigar with coffee, with whiskey, whatever. That's one of his jams.
I love the amount of baking spices it has. It has a touch of earthiness.
Great smoking experience every time.
A lot of nuttiness in there, and it just fulfills what I want in a cigar for any time of the day.
Yeah.
I'll smoke the Mil Diaz, drink black coffee in the mornings. I'll smoke the Mil Diaz after I've had strong cigars like this Las Seis Provencias, and it still holds up and still provides me with that super heavy baking spice notes. Now, that baking spice is one of the reasons I love the Corojo Reserva so much.
Exactly.
But there's something about the Mil Diaz that just has my heart.
Nice. Well, that's cool. So, what would be some of your favorite whiskeys that you've tried for the first time in 2022?
Some of my favorite whiskeys of 2022, and I would say it'll be this year's releases, and I'll add on that my biggest disappointments in whiskey of 2022.
And you're gonna have a longer list than I am, but go ahead.
So some of my favorite whiskeys of 2022 are older Knob Creek 14 to 15 year store picks. They quit doing those in 2020. Thanks COVID. Also thanks Bourbon Boom. But as much as I hate to say it, those bottles are worth their weight on the secondary market. I've got 3 of them at the house right now, and I just absolutely love them. Another one of my favorites, and I guess just a beam theme to start off, would be Little Book Chapter 5. I tried that pour at a bar, and then quickly realized that it was out of stock everywhere by the time I had it at that bar, and traded for it on secondary. Got it at a steal because I traded to Blanton's and $20 for it. So,
Wow.
can't beat that.
You are the lottery winner of the week.
I know. And then another one of my favorite pours of this year would be, man, probably that Old Forester All the Single Ladies pick.
Yeah.
And you'll know with me, like, a lot of picks, either for sentimental value or for not, have been like my favorite pours of the year. That George Dickel that I poured you that first off that you weren't too big of a fan of, that's one of my pours of the year.
Is it really?
I think it's one of the most shocking. I think it's the most interesting pour of the year for me.
Okay.
That's from a store called Frugal McDougal in Nashville, Tennessee. I bought a bottle of that for $35.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Frugal McDougal.
We gotta drink more.
Wes Painter, who's that store's single barrel coordinator. I tried that and was absolutely shocked by it because it's cash strength
Yeah.
at 93.8 proof.
Wow.
George Dickel Rick houses have a way about dropping proof.
Yeah.
Because they're all dirt floors and everything, so the humidity level in there is crazy high.
Huh.
And that was one of the most shocking ones to me. Also, the first bottle of that I had, we capped off at my buddy's wedding, so it's almost a sentimental pour at this point.
Yeah.
And then I bought another bottle on my way out of town just because I liked it so much.
Yeah.
But then I'll just go through my list. Say my most disappointing pours of the year. 1, High West, a Midwinter Nights Dram, Act 9 and Act 10. I just don't think they're that special.
It was okay.
At the price that
For the price, it was
at the
insane.
price that they're charging for at the liquor store, which you'll normally see $120 to $150. I just don't think that they're worth that.
Yeah.
It's a solid pour. If you want a Midwinter Nights Dram killer, come in, try the Starlight Rye finished in port barrels.
Yeah. Our barrel pick.
Honestly, that would be on my pour of the year list if I hadn't had picked it.
Yeah,
Same with the ATS Indy Rye. Same with the Indiana Bourbon Club Sherry Bourbon.
Yeah.
Those are fantastic picks. And the wood hats. I keep revisiting the wood hats this week.
Freaking delicious, aren't
And,
they?
oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Well, and we'll talk a little bit about our picks before we end up the night here, too.
Okay.
So I would say some of my favorite whiskeys that came out this year, I really love that Booker's Kentucky Tea.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my
stellar.
favorite Bookers. I've had probably 4 different Bookers over the years.
Most Bookers I've had drink hot.
Yeah.
And hot.
They're just like hot bean. Where where this one had a really nice smooth balance and the flavor was great. Yeah, you know it's bean. But it's high-end bean, and it was really good. We got 2 or 3 bottles in here. They lasted for about a week.
Okay.
They were really good.
Yeah, real quick. My last
I'm sorry.
disappointment bottle. Well, I had already sent it over to you. My last disappointment bottle would be that Remus Repeal Reserve 6.
Yeah.
It is not.
For the hype around that
for
thing.
the hype, for
I was
everything,
like very disappointed.
It's not that good.
And that was actually the first pour I had.
I said that was my last disappointment bottle. My
What's
other
that
one would be Starlight's 2022 Family Reserve Rye.
Again, a very good rye, but not for $175.
And you're listening to a guy who has upwards of 50 Starlight bottles.
Yeah.
I think the ATS Indy Rye is a better pick.
I would agree.
Than that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Your top pours of the year.
So,
Booker's Kentucky Tea.
Booker's is
first.
one of them. I mean, these are not in order by any means. Absolutely fell in love this year with the Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend.
Yeah.
And the one I had was the 105. I love that one. It's definitely more of the cognac forward.
Yeah.
And it was delicious. I finally found a bottle for myself. For the price point, it's a little higher. I mean, I think Total Wine had it for $229. It's a little higher than what I typically like to spend on my own personal whiskey.
Absolutely.
That was a good one. One that is Lisa's favorite that I love is the Heaven Hill 17.
Wow.
Now, we got her a bottle for her birthday. We're waiting for her to crack it. She
still hasn't cracked it?
No. She's waiting for that right occasion, which is fine.
Tried it.
Which is fine. She's waiting to crack it. But that one I fell in love with this year. Those heritage releases are pretty special, and that one was a really amazing whiskey.
100%.
Trying to think of some of the other ones I love. I'm with you on the Old Forester, all the single ladies. I was able to get a bottle of that too. I love Old Forester anyway. 1920. If I go to a bar and they have nothing on the bar and the 1920s there, I'm buying that.
Yeah.
That is just such a great regular release and a great for the money. It might be the best bottle buy you could ever get.
Well, you're talking
bourbon.
about 50, 55 on the high end of Old Forester 1920.
Yeah.
For a bottle. And
it's
there's
115 proof Old Forester, and it's absolutely freaking delicious every time.
And there's a lot of bars and restaurants that will do Old Forester 100 proof picks, and those are solid. But man, 1920 is better.
That 115 is just like the magic point for them.
I think so.
But that's another Old Forester too. I really enjoyed that Applejack Brandy barrel release of the Backbone quite a bit this year. I will say this one here has supplanted that as my favorite Backbone yet.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to just pick our barrel picks as our favorite ones of the week or of the year, but we're going to talk about that in a minute too. But
we'll have a bottles on this bar segment after we do this because I got a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to think of the other ones. I've had quite a few different Stag Juniors this year, and I've really liked the difference in all the different releases. And I couldn't say one of them is better than the others yet.
Yeah.
I've not had any of the really old ones like the 3 and 4, which I've heard are amazing.
Yeah.
I think the oldest one I've had was like a 10.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
I've had a 15 and a 17 that I've already killed one of them. I think it killed the 15.
Yeah, you did. Well, we did.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was really good too. I do love that. I really, really enjoy a high proof bourbon when it has good balance of flavor too.
Absolutely.
So that would be one of them too. What am I missing? You know me.
What's your biggest disappointment? You were excited about this bottle this year. And I'm telling you, it is okay to throw people under the bus.
Well, my absolute biggest disappointment, period, has been the Starlight and Barana barrels. They call it a cigar batch, and it absolutely does not go with cigars. And I'm like, if you call it a cigar batch, it better freaking hold up to a cigar.
Okay.
And it does not.
Now, what I'll tell you guys, the listener, about this is a bottle I have quite a few of, and I think it tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It has nothing to do with cigars. Absolutely nothing.
No.
I got Rob a bottle at retail, and he still gave it away.
Yes.
Because it is just not his flavor profile, and honestly, I don't think it fits the way he drinks at all.
No.
If Rob were drinking without smoking a cigar, you'd say, oh, yeah, this is like super sugary Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'd be into that.
In full disclosure, I typically am not drinking without smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
So if it does not go with a cigar, I'm probably not going to like it. And that was probably the single biggest disappointment for me all year long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not that old 55 single.
Well, and yeah, I mean, that was another one too. The old 55 single malt. It was a $200 bottle, and it was barely okay. I wouldn't have wanted it. Honestly, I wouldn't have spent $60 on that bottle.
Yeah.
I bought it because a couple buddies of ours went up there and they said, "Hey, do you want one?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to get one. It sounds special. We'll try it."
Supposedly, it had won some awards in the past. So
yeah,
it was very hyped up.
But it was just so basic. It really didn't have a lot going on. I mean, I do like the cast strength sweet corn. At least a couple of the releases they had. That was good. Again, is it worth $300 to $350? I don't think so. I think that's just a money grab.
Some of the barrels could be.
So that first one I had was absolutely delicious.
It was really
and
good.
I would think, what's up, buddy? I think it could have. I think that one was definitely worth it. The later bottles have not been as good.
I don't think so.
But in all honesty, they're doing more of that for raising money for causes, which I love. I think Indiana Bourbon Dirk is doing a great job raising money. He's a police officer. He's raising money for fallen officers and stuff like that. All day long, I'll buy that. Was the whiskey, did it hold up to it? Maybe not, but 99% of those bottles are not being opened.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the bottle, it was about the cause. That one, though, was a good one. The I will say the Old 55 sweet corn 80 proof was absolutely disgusting.
Terrible. I think it is.
It'll never be made again. If it is made again, it's 100% just a money grab. It was not good.
Yeah.
And another one. So I'll give you another one too. And again, I'm not. I love these brands. I'm not crapping on the brand. I'm talking about the whiskey.
Yeah.
The Starlight, the stout barrel finish one,
Yeah,
absolute disappointment.
I think so.
Because stout is amazing.
Yeah.
And when you start throwing the flavors of stout in a whiskey, it can be really good.
Totally.
It really dropped off and it wasn't that good compared to, and we did get this, I don't know if you know this or not, but we got the Backbone stout barrel finish one.
Is it
up there too?
on the
It
bar?
is up there.
Wow.
And it's they're calling it the light whiskey.
Okay.
And that one is freaking stellar.
Yeah, well, it
For the
tastes
stout.
like Whoppers.
I'm telling you what, you will
They're
nose
chocolate
stout.
malt balls.
You will nose stout, you will taste stout, and then you'll taste whiskey. So
Yeah. Mike and Jim both are just walked in.
Yes, they did shout.
Bringing
Cheers.
in some.
Cheers.
Cheers to Mike and Jim.
we got to drink
Bother.
to them.
Yeah. So I just lit up the 4 kegs Kappa Special.
Nice. So
Okay, my favorite bottles on the bar this year have been. I've got a couple. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof
C922.
I think that's a stellar bottle.
Best.
I'm gonna quick fire these because we're going long.
Go
at
right
this
ahead.
point.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The Nulu Toasted. I have never liked a toasted whiskey before until that Nulu Toasted.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The Foregate Kelvin Collab.
So, buddy.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah.
The next one would be the Final Third Starlight Rye
Yep.
and Port Barrels. The other one would be the inaugural barrel, that Final Third, which is not on our bar currently. You'll see it on our bar for
That's the 1 year.
for the 1 year.
Yep.
Yeah. So those are like my 4 that if they were on that bar and I was a customer here, I would grab them.
You also forgot the Lion Cantata.
I did
too.
forget that. Well, I was talking about whiskey, but that Lin Cantata.
It's still whiskey.
No, it's brandy.
Yeah, it's still whiskey.
So the Lin Cantata is an Armagnac that's finished in bourbon barrels, which makes it not an Armagnac anymore. That's one of my favorite bottles and the most different bottle that we have up on the bar right now.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's in their tattoo series. You'll see it. It has a weird art on it. It's up on the top shelf towards the middle, right next to the Butchertown brandy, because it is considered a brandy.
Yeah.
It is the coolest tasting. If you like cask strength whiskey, if you like whiskey in general, you should try that Lin Cantata
Exactly.
Tattoo Series bottle. It is really, I don't know. I went to a Lin Cantata tasting of their Armagnacs, and it just made me appreciate that bottle even more.
For sure, yeah, yeah. Well, and some of the ones I think I've loved over this last year, I definitely am with you on the Elijah Craig C922. One of my favorite Elijah Craigs of all time. Just really, really good.
What'd you grab? You grab anything? You want to come here? And, you're grabbing one of the Las
Go ahead.
Seis?
It's great. They're $20.99.
Mike, come here.
Yeah, come over here and say hello.
Say hello. This is Mike
guys.
Bother. He's the guy who makes the jerky and bourbon balls.
Bourbon
and all the
balls
things.
and-
He's grabbing a Las Seis Provencias because he knows what's good.
I know what's good. I might have some of that backbone too.
Oh, dude.
You
Wait,
deserve it.
Wait, you'll love it. You'll
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
It's really good.
Cool.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Some of the other ones, I do. Hi there. I do love. I mean, I've really enjoyed our barrel picks this year. So we started off grand opening. We started off with the Indiana Whiskey Co.
Yeah.
And it was a cast strength. First thing they ever put out, cast strength, and it was a special barrel. It was absolutely delicious. We sold out of that really fast.
We did.
The Starlight, port finished in, whiskey finished in port barrels, bourbon.
Rye.
I'm sorry, rye. Words.
You all right?
Yeah, the rye finished in port barrels. It was delicious. This Backbone is absolutely amazing. I mean, I feel like our picks have kind of stepped up a notch every time. We'll see if we can continue to do that. Hopefully, we can. Another one of the bottles I really love. We had that cigar blend from Joseph Magnus on
Yeah.
there. It's not on there currently. I ended up going back to that that Barrel Vantage a lot. I love that bottle. If I'm wanting just to sip
Vanilla
on it,
bean ice cream.
Not at
Hardly any citrus.
all the citrus in the world.
You might as well sell them out at this point. It's enough.
It's so good. No, it's good. But it's a really good too. But I do tend to make myself a Sazerac every so often.
With seagrass?
And with the Seagrass, it's freaking amazing. It's not a cheap cocktail.
It's not.
It's a $20 cocktail.
It's so good.
But it's so good.
That is a cocktail. If you're trying to sip on one cocktail for the entire experience of the cigar, buy a Seagrass Sazerac.
Oh my God! Again, like I said,
you'll be blown away.
It's not cheap, but it is so freaking good.
Yeah.
Those are some of the ones. Like I said, the Bookers. I really enjoyed that. I don't know. I tend to bounce around a lot, but on the ones we have right now, probably the ones I go to the most are our barrel picks.
Yeah.
The Starlight or the Backbone now. We've already sold a bottle and a half of the Backbone. We've had it for 6 hours.
6 hours.
So I think that's going to be a good one people will enjoy. So
I don't know. I will cheers to that, and we should probably finish this up.
yeah.
We're running.
And we're not doing a pulpit thing this week, are we?
No.
Okay, cool.
We're running at about 2 hours.
All right, we're done.
So,
We're done.
Bye,
We're done.
bye.
All right, so
Says
Lisa's
Lisa.
trying to call us off here. So, again, thank you guys for listening this last few months we've been doing this.
Yeah.
We're hoping to continue to do more of this. We're going to be going to, Lisa and I are going to Honduras in the end of January. I'm going to try to get a lot of video for that so we can actually maybe talk a little bit about the experience
Absolutely.
on a farm, on the rolling, on the factory, and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
We'll do more of that. Come in, make sure you come in soon and get those Las Seis Provencias. Hopefully we'll still have some left.
Hopefully.
It's hard telling. But, yeah. Thank you guys for listening again. We appreciate you guys. Without all you guys, the customers, we couldn't be doing any of this. It's been an absolute blast this year.
It's been crazy to me to see the following of this stupid show of Rob and I talking.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I feel like it's just more the fact that you have a lot of people that want to pair cigars with whiskey or pair cigars with whatever. Yeah. And once you learn the pairings, it's changed your experience.
Absolutely. And this was not an official pairing episode, but the Las Seis and the Backbone goes well together, and so does the Four Cakes Kappa and the Backbone.
Yeah.
So
and thank you this year for all the work you've done here. You've killed it here. I appreciate it. We've built a good team here, and I think that going into 2023, I think it's going to be a really fun year to see how things go here at Final Third. So, again, thanks a lot, guys. Hey, see you, man. Have a good night. See you, bud. Again, thank you guys for listening in here. I'm Rob here at Final Third Cigar. You can follow us on Instagram at Final Third Cigar.
And I'm Isaiah. You can find me at The Whiskey Pastor.
Thanks a lot, guys, and cheers.
Cheers.
2023, baby.
2023, baby.
Cheers.